to another great episode of Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. I am Henry Igwebike.
And I'm Choma Okohe.
All right, we would kickstart our day with all that we have coming from the newspaper headlines. And right after that will be our main conversation also for today. But please do well to be part of our community. Have a say in what we say. You can always find and reach us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. We have in the studio to go through all that we have coming from our newspaper headline, Cyril Abaku, journalist and public affairs analyst. Good morning to you, Cyril.
Good morning,
Thank you so very much.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, let's kickstart today with the stories making rounds from the Punch newspaper.
Yes, we're starting with the Punch newspaper, and on the top strip you have interest rate hike, and Labour OPS project higher inflation, weaker naira. Details are on page 19.
And also we have haunted and executed, suspended Sanwo-Olu's aides. Commence a stir probe call.
Okay, moving on, still on the bottom strip, and unpaid pensions. Retirees set to occupy finance ministry. Details are on page 7.
And also we have 4,449 policemen sue IG for delayed promotion.
That is quite interesting.
Very interesting.
Okay, moving on, PDP neck. Pro-Wiki governors set for showdown over Damagum. Details are on page 2.
All right, so let's get to the big story here. Alleged 110 billion naira fraud. Bello due in court today as ex-governor reports to the EFCC. And also have the writer there, ex-Kogi governor detained by anti-graft agency faces 16-count charge. Yeah,
very true. We'll just give a little body story, and the authorities of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, have arrested Yahaya Bello, former governor of Kogi State. The cable understands that the former governor, or the former Kogi governor, reported to the EFCC headquarters in Abuja on Tuesday morning. The EFCC had charged the former governor with alleged money laundering, breach of trust, and misappropriation of 80.2 billion naira. Cyril Abaku, what changed? What happened? Why the sudden cooperation from Yahaya Bello to the EFCC?
I wish I was on his mind, but the fact remains that as a former governor, he does not enjoy immunity from prosecution. We've seen the shenanigans that have played out in the past few months. Sure. The man has, to all intents and purposes, taken his name for granted and for a right. As a matter of fact, people will tell you that he was the architect behind the attempt to scrap the EFCC by taking that case to court. It was Kogi State that really took the matter to the Supreme Court and said the way the EFCC was founded was faulty, didn't follow for what it is worth. The judgment has now been put out. The court said the matter, they struck it out. They dismissed the suit. So it appeared it was the last straw he was holding on to. Now he has out, but for me, Yabelo coming out is only more like the right news, but not necessarily good news, because it's not the first time he was coming to the EFCC. This man, who is EFCC chairman, shouldn't have kept his job. The first time he told Yahaya to come to EFCC, that he will give him special treatment. He will use his executive corridor to come in. I don't know what that was about. The second one, nobody has given an explanation. When Yahaya went to the EFCC, they said because he brought a governor, he brought his governor, that it created a crisis. He's a lawyer. He should explain to us what crisis that created. Mr. Former Governor, you're welcome. This is why we want to speak with you. Mr. Current Governor, please give us way. You are if both men want to go into the cell, you lock the cell up. Something can happen. Okay? And you should video it, actually. You should video it. If he says he wants to follow his former principal, you should follow him in. Lock the cell up. If the policeman resist him, let it be on record, on video record. Let Nigerians see it. Or at least you can tender it in court. But they didn't do all of this. It was after Bello had left the premises, we were told that they went to his house to beg him to wear handcuffs, let them just snap and show that they were doing work.
So now you're saying that he should have actually gone with the technique you gave, Does that mean that was when he's trying to do his job?
Who?
That's the EFCC chairman.
Well, we don't know. The fact that that scenario even happened, which we can't find explanation for, what is he still doing as the EFCC chairman?
But do you think at this time, knowing the shame the Kogi State administration and government have brought upon EFCC, do you think it's possible to have Yahaya Bello as a scapegoat?
No, it is more like the shame the EFCC has allowed them to bring upon itself. But I don't see this matter going very far.
Really?
Come on.
So are you saying that maybe they're acting like paid actors?
This whole thing looks like a script to me. Let me tell you. Yahaya Bello has been summoned several times by the court, by the commission. He has chosen to flagrantly disregard all kinds of summons. That he now went there. We should ask ourselves, why did he come out yesterday? That's the first thing we should ask ourselves. Why did he not come out? What changed? What changed? So until we know the backstory, but that they will prosecute him, send him to jail and all of that thing, I don't frankly see it.
Well, let's see how it goes. Or Jules Okala actually submitted himself. He was jailed for 2 weeks or 2 months.
Can I explain something to you? A senior colleague where I had worked before told me that matter was going to end up the way it ended up.
Which of them? Which?
The Ojikalu case.
Okay, the Ojikalu case.
He told me, said that the judge, I think the trial judge, there was something wrong with the trial judge, that when they go back to court, and that was what happened. You know, a lot of us aren't lawyers, so we probably don't take the pains to dig up what the law releases about certain things. So it is easy for us to pontificate and just say, because this happened, then the next one. Law is not even logic per se. Law is text. It is written. It is written. If it can be changed, it can be changed. So this whole Yahaya Bello case, we've not even started. I just close with this on this particular case, right? A lot of times, what comes to us as news does not come to newsmakers as news. They've sat down. If you look at, I heard you were reading a story about calls for probe that the governor of Lagos they should probe his like they didn't know before. That you don't just sack an aide. You don't. He said he was suspended. Wouldn't I not supposed to sack him and I move out to police to kind of explain what he was saying? They said they suspended him, and people are calling for probe. It's not just probe. Let me tell you. Sometimes, and I'm not going to look at the but sometimes they sit down and look at the whole hog of a matter. What are the legal ramifications before they do it? So we sit in the commentariat to comment as we like to do, but they've seen the end from the beginning.
Very well.
From the vantage point as government, they've taken advice. So when we sit and stew in the controversy, they don't. They are sipping tea and popping wine.
Very true. All right, let's move on to what other, Jenny?
Yeah, that's the Daily Trust newspaper.
Very well. All right, so we have on the top strip here, Nigeria needs more taxpayers, not new taxes. And that's coming from the FIRS boss.
Okay, still on the top strip, you have lack of unity, Nigeria's greatest problem. That is coming from Jonathan.
And also we have on the bottom strip here, terrorists, logistics suppliers frustrating counter-insurgency war.
Okay, still on the bottom strip, 5 people returning from burial die in boat mishap.
And Nigeria loses $1.1 billion to malaria annually, and that's coming from the federal government.
And lastly, on the bottom strip, CBN hikes interest rates to 27.5%.
But let's look at the talking point here. Petrol price may drop as Port Harcourt refinery resumes operation. Cyril Abaku. People said this could just be photo ops. How is it that the same Port Harcourt refinery we've always been praying and begging God for some time now, and just like this,
yes,
we just woke up in the morning and we had the Port Harcourt refinery is bringing out fuel.
So I think it's not bringing out fuel yet. I'll tell you what's going on. The reality is that we need to ask ourselves. I mean, it was around this time last year when they said that the refinery was 95% complete and that the engineers only needed to go for Christmas break.
Exactly.
It wasn't true. You know, I make an eye with you on one and we said there will be no fuel until around August. This is December. This is November. And they've come to, it's not ready. What they've done is that, from what I understand, I think they've been able to lift something get something off of the plant or so. Okay. And then they still need some processing to do. Maybe you may get, I think, kerosene or one or two other byproducts, but fuel won't come out immediately. I think as I last night they were already revising what it appeared as. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes. This thing is not. If fuel was going to come out to this morning, they should have known it like a week or 2 weeks ago. Then they would have said in 2 weeks' time expect fuel. But they didn't. You know, the communication model matters.
Exactly.
We're communication experts. It matters. You didn't give any prediction. You didn't give any forecast. Just say that is them telling you that it will soon begin to. That is if it will. Okay. And so if everything goes to, I don't even know what plan, but I'm just borrowing that expression. If everything goes to plan, maybe by January, February, the one you're talking about, PMS fuel may indeed be rolled out. But even so, it's going to be operating at full capacity. No,
okay, now can we?
It will be operating at about 60% or less,
yes.
or less. Okay, that is if everything goes to plan. That is assuming that something unforeseen didn't happen, which is also a possibility could happen. So I'm not very elated and eager that the cost of petrol going down is never a guarantee in this country.
So even if all the refineries work, the possibility of having that go down.
Maybe if they did, okay, and government was genuinely willing, because I have to be honest with you on this table, fuel selling for 500 naira per liter will not seem to me that the price of petrol has come down in Nigeria.
So, like, okay, how much should it sell?
It sell at, let's even say that for starters, we can sell petrol at 15 naira per liter as of today.
Okay.
And before somebody comes to my neck and says, "What are you saying? You're talking wishful." No, hold on. Because at that point, the values of production aren't left to external factors anymore. It's all internal. Am I correct? Okay. So to that extent, we now need to take care of other internal issues like leakages.
Okay.
Must be because Henry and Choma, I don't want to give you a depressed morning, but let me ask you sincerely. You may not give me an answer. Do you think that when Nigeria, when we announce that something is about, you've not factored in what the thieves will take home for themselves? So if you put all of that in the picture and bring technology into the process and make sure that we are accounting for every drop of oil. You are the one that said Kaduna, Warri, the one in Okreka, the Alessa axis, and maybe also, and this other one, Walter Smith and Co. are producing. We can be looking at selling petrol at less than 100 naira. It's a great possibility. Where did the president meet it? And that should include subsidy where necessary. Reasonable subsidy where necessary. We can sell it at that amount. And can I tell you that would be the main game changer for the economy.
But how is that possible, knowing the leakages you talked about? Because one of the biggest challenge that we have had over the years, decades now, is the miraculous emptying of some of our fuel through neighboring countries. Benin, Ghana, Cameroon, and so on and so forth. Do you think it's ever possible to have a reduced price of fuel without having scarcity? Aside
from that, adding to it, what of the oil thieves in the
country? That's what he's talking about now. Our oil ending up, he said miraculously. I would say mysteriously. But, Chema, this is the problem, right? When I say what I say with full chest because I'm the one saying it, another person can say it's not possible, and I don't begrudge a person, but let us make it like some kind of turn by turn. You go and do 6 months and let's see what you can do. But you see, you need to come out with an armada of policies and determination. Those people in Adamawa that take our oil and it ends up in Cameroon, or the people that take it in Lagos and end up in Idiroko and Neseme, you have to go after them. There's no two way. There's no two ways around it.
Okay, now talking about the policies, the Amanda policies, according to your term, who in our leadership circle do you think can be able to fit into this position and actually make it work? You see me in the studio telling you what I would do. You are saying who can do it? It's you that it's you that.
Because I don't know who else shares this. I don't know. I honestly don't. The reason Peter Obi, Atiku, Bola Tinubu all said subsidy must go. It's not because subsidy is a bad thing. It was because subsidy had become corruption. 400 billion every month. So what they said was, you know what? Take this thing, because any attempt to fix this thing, it looks like you fix it, yes, but so just end it and put the money elsewhere. But since President Tinubu ended subsidy, because I don't know whether we really ended it or not, What have we done with the money? We bought a presidential yacht, presidential jet, with which has gone to France this morning. We've renovated the vice president's house. We've done these are the things we know that they've done. There are many more things you never know about. So if imagine we put all that money into society, you have companies enjoying tax credit and they're building roads. I'm not reading that manifesto. So we have what like the way the Germans have the autobahn. You have our road network, made out Julius Berg. Okay, for the next 5 years, no more taxes. Just fix the roads. You have Cranebrook, you have people who fixing roads. There are those who will be doing healthcare. All this, the president said that the Indians are going to bring, one Indian company said they are going to bring $100 million into. Look, we need to ask, before people even come, let's ask ourselves, how should they come? Do you understand what I'm asking? How should they come? People that make hair extension, today we talk about Brazilian hair, bone straight, they look at cornrows. Those are mainly black people's hairstyles. So, but even if you are a hair whatever company, you won't the sort you make for the Caucasians is not the same thing you make for the
Nigerian.
Yeah, for the blacks.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when they want to come, how do we tell them for the Nigerian market and for Nigerian needs? See how you plug in. I don't think that we have such specialized templates. The president was in Brazil the other day. For that, we had an agreement with them to come and open agriculture, livestock, but it's private sector. They can sign from now till tomorrow, but they won't come in. Yes. So why aren't we looking at what our own needs are and plug into those areas? That's what I'm telling you. You have oil thieves, you have smugglers, you have people who say they're important and they're not important nothing. Okay, they just use people sign and take all the money. Why should the president sit back and with clear eyes, not able to make institutions work? You read something about police people suing the IG. Yes. Where do these things happen in the world? You see, so the point is, please, what must happen is the leader must be willing and be giving room to act. Yes, must be giving room to act. Whom he will fire, let him fire. Whom he will keep, let him keep. Well, but let him give us results.
Well, that is all things being equal, and not with the sort of politics we have in Nigeria, where, of course, he has lots of people to please.
Yes,
they say it's transactional.
Transactional.
The administration is transactional.
Of course, this is the first time we have, and I have nothing against Daniel Buala, but I'm not sure any president had employed a non-journalist or somebody who didn't work in communication. Okay. Abati is a liar, but I mean, he was a. He of course, he used to be a pressman. He was a renowned pressman. This is clear, and the president has made some choices that you look at and ask, did this man do this with open eyes? Somebody was pointing to the fact that in the letter that announced Buhari's appointment, I'm sorry, this is a digression, right? That the letter said the president has approved the appointment of, not the president has appointed. They said that somebody wrote it for him and begrudgingly or something. This is now looking at psychology of language. That the president has approved. Why not the president has appointed? So all of these things have to be looked at closely. I
just sincerely pray it won't end up like Buhari, who throughout was not aware of all that he did, in the last 8 years. Yes. But let's quickly end up with the Vanguard newspaper. We have on the top strip here, CBN raises interest rate to 27.5%.
Okay, still on the Vanguard newspaper, prices of local rice, beans, bread, eggs soar in October. That is according to the MBS.
And also we have the big story here, local fuel capacity now 860,000 as Port Harcourt refinery rebounds.
Okay, let's look at this particular story coming from the president himself. Let's join hands to make Nigeria a producing nation, coming from Tinubu. Cyril Abako, how do we start being a producing nation?
And is this coming late? Because he has less than a couple of years to end his first term.
That's to you.
Okay, so he still has maybe 4 more to do.
Well, like they say in America, a day late and a dollar short. I wish we had been more circumspect about what we wanted to do in government. If you want us to go from consumption to production? Somebody will say that he's borrowing P2B's idea. But it's not necessarily PW's idea. It is industrialization, and this is where every society that has gone from rudimentary to advanced has done. You go from consuming to what does that mean? It is more profitable to take orange juice than to pluck orange from the tree and be sucking, like that. Yes. So that way there's a value chain. You can create jobs. The back of the orange can go into all kinds of pharmaceutical whatever, and then so that's where the president is going. But where are the policies? Look, the other day the LCCI, that ought to be a friendly institution, was saying the president shouldn't be taking another loan from China. From who? Is it China? Where? 2.2 trillion. That it was not necessary. He didn't have to do that. You see, you must be a manager of the little you have to be a manager of bigger things. This is the way it is done. It's not rocket science. And if you want to really go into manufacturing, look at those. Have you noticed all the biscuits? This is deceptive. I'm sorry. The biscuits we used to buy. I don't want to mention names. Now you buy them. All the frills and stuff on them are gone. They are also dry and looking
very like slim and
the economy went to the dogs when we went to sachetization of certain commodities. It shouldn't be. Now, if you want to do that, how are you going to enable those who, first of all, attack cost of production? Unless government wants to be the one managing the whole process, attack cost of production and ease of doing business. Attack it and see what happens in 1 year. Attack it. It must come down. You see, when I was talking about price of fuel selling at less than 100 naira, I mean it. I'm not saying that as an analyst. I mean it. I do mean it. I mean it, and I don't need up to 1 year to achieve that. I mean it. I mean it. When Murtala Mohammed became military head of state this was in July 1975. July 29. Then government was still in Lagos. Henry, the Apapa Expressway that was the poster child of traffic congestion in Lagos. By the the announcement was in the night. By the morning, that whole road had cleared. That whole Apapa airport road had today. It's still clogged. Yes. But on the morning, it all cleared. What was the reason? They had that a man who does not take nonsense had come to power. It cleared. What sort of reputation did you even bring into office? It matters. If the boys know that this man is a game man, they will not. They know say after all the talk, whenever we meet. But if you are a man who they know to be otherwise, I'm telling you, they will sit up. I say it again that we can bring the price of fuel down to down to less than 100 naira, and then set targets for for the private sector. And it is so easy to do. It is so easy to do. But we won't do it. We are pursuing things that don't matter. And as a result of that, it won't work. We seem to carry the same appetite of let it come from the UAE, let it come from France, let it come from Brazil. You mean to tell me that a country that once had granite pyramids and one of the world's biggest consumers of rice cannot grow rice domestically? It is easy to we're not on a policy roundtable. Why haven't we created catchment areas? So Obasanjo attempted it once when people in Crossbar said, okay, their own will be pineapple for niche agriculture. Why are we talking about that? The man who goofed or not goofed in Igboetiti in is he Anambra Enugu State that said he was appointing a special advisor on garden egg production, special advisor on pepper production, special advisor on yam farming. Why wouldn't they go to meet him? Okay, what do you mean? Do you have the land? Do you have this thing? We can partner with you. Okay, go to University of Enugu. You get agriculturists from there. Let us see what we can do in 1 year. Nobody's talking about these things.
Very, very true. Because obviously there are states that you can say these states, the land, the topography is good enough for this. Why not concentrate on this?
Let me just.
We have to just wrap it up.
I know, but let me just help you. These things are already there. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture has these documents. They have this template. It is there. All the departments of agriculture around the country. So what are they doing? Students are writing projects every year. What are they writing those projects on? I was in year one university when I was told that somebody at Onsoka had designed what's it called? Orange peeling machine. This one, women take knife and they're peeling orange when they want to buy it. Said that there was a mechanical engineering department. It is their work to design machines. We are eating pounded yam in Nigeria. The machine to produce pounded yam is in China. I can't. This don't take long to produce. They don't take long. All we need to do is to just create a standard. Okay, Ministry of Trade and Trade and
Investment.
They should even have offices across Africa universities, so that if you have a patent, you don't need to go to Abuja. We are not willing to make this country work, and we are saying what we should not be saying. It is not enough to say we want to move from one step to another. What is the practical solution to getting it done?
Thank you so much, sir.
Very true. And how is it even possible when a couple of days back the Minister of Power said that we'll have 3 million Nigerians on estimated billion?
Yeah, true.
Very unfortunate, if you ask me. Well, that's just about the size of our show for this morning. And in a bit, we'll be headed towards our main conversation. But thank you so very much, Cyril, for being part of it. We truly do appreciate you.
And when we return, David Adeleke, popularly known as Davido, urges Black Americans to rethink Nigeria relocation amid economic crisis. We'll be back shortly.
Don't go anywhere.